Hi folks, my name's Sean McCusker. I'm an artist, curator, and all-around art lover. And I'm currently hanging my show at the Beckett Art Center, opening April 26, 2024. And I want to show you a little bit of the tips and tricks for hanging your own exhibits. So with that said, let's get going. All right folks, so now we're going to start to hang the painting. So depending on your gallery, you might have different hanging systems to work with. Sometimes it'll be just a bare wall you'll be nailing into with a wire hanger or screwing in a screw bracket. At the Beckett Art Center, we have these nice rod hangers that we can just adjust on the rod where we want to put it. Now, I have also set up a laser level here to give me a nice line showing me where 60 inches is from the bottom of the floor. And that is a general rule of thumb, the midpoint that you want your artwork to be at. It's just an easy, general looking height for everybody. So with that said, we're going to start to put some paintings up here. So the first thing I need to do is find out where my wire hangs from the painting. So I want to measure the height of this piece. I happen to know that this is 20 inches. And then I want to know how far down my wire is from the top of this. So I'm just going to do that now. Five inches. Okay. Actually, let me measure this, because I think the painting is 20 inches high, not the frame. Yeah. All right, so it's 26. So that would be 13 inches. So you want to take the height halved, and that number minus the distance from the top of the painting to your hanging wire is how high above our midpoint we want to have the hanger. So in this case, that is 8, I believe. So now I'm going to put my ruler, and I have my mark is right here. So I'm just going to drop this down. I said 8 inches. And so that's where we want our hanger to be. Oh, and I have to get some equipment for that. All right, so now we're going to move this thing. So we've got our 8 inches above. So we're going to want to hold our measuring stick up there. So we want to bring this up there. So I can unscrew this and bring it up and tighten it down. It's going to hang right from this edge, so that's why I've put it there. And now we should be ready to go. Okay. All right, right in the middle. All right, so one of the biggest things in hanging an exhibit is just making everything kind of look natural, like they're meant to go together. Now, in this case, we've got 3 paintings. They're all exactly the same size. If they're different sizes, sometimes you can get away with a little bit of unevenness, but when they're all exactly the same, you really want the levels of everything to be all the same as well. Now, the strap that you have in the back of the work is usually not going to be the same distance for each painting. Personally, I like to hang things up on the wall, get a good general look at things, and then we can adjust it from there. And you'll see that some of the math is a little bit nicer to us in doing that, and that's what we're going to demonstrate right now. So I've got my laser level set up. It's giving me the midpoint of everything, but this one is a little bit low. So what we're going to do is level it to where this one is. So first I want to take a measurement from my laser level all the way to the top of the painting. So in this case, it's about 20.5 inches. Now, if you didn't have a laser level, you could do this from the floor as well, but floors are sometimes uneven. So that's why the laser level is a nice guide for us here. So now we know we need to go 21.5 inches high. So now I just have to put 21.5 inches to my laser mark against this painting. And the beautiful thing is, what's sticking above the painting is the distance I have to raise that work to get it where that one is. So in this case, it's about 4 inches. So now we'll do that and make these look beautiful. All right, now the heights should equal. All right, so not all the time in a gallery exhibit are you showing just individual different works. Sometimes you might have an exhibit that you want to show. In this case, I'm showing the evolution of one of my pieces from its early development up to now, almost a 20-year span of working on these pieces. And so I wanted to have this display all together. Because the pieces aren't individual, they can be hung closer together. Normally you'll want a nice amount of space in between the works, but since these are reading as one whole thing, then we can at least put them a lot closer together to give you this concept of this is an overall idea, not individual pieces. I want to show you a little bit about general concepts of arranging your works on the walls. So here I've put them up so we can see them a little bit easier, but I've got these nice 4 pieces that I want to show. One thing you want to pay attention to is the movement in each piece. And essentially you're going to assemble your wall display like it is a larger painting. So you'll use the same kind of concepts of juxtaposition and symmetry and asymmetry to set up a nice flow throughout the room. Generally speaking, you'll want to have wall segments. So this is going to be a wall segment that I'm dealing with. And you'll see that the movement of this piece is in the right direction. This piece is slightly to the left. The others are mostly neutral. But if I kept it as it is, although each individual piece looks very nice, the flow from one to the next isn't ideal. So I would want this to be on this end and this on the opposite so that they face each other and your attention goes between the farther works on the wall. So let me swap those out. All right. So obviously we've got a big difference in heights between our different hanging systems, but now the flow of the wall is a lot nicer from this direction to that. I'm actually even going to move these little ones over. Because size can also be an element of arrangement. Now we have this nice symmetrical setup with 2 larger paintings on the outside looking in and our set of smaller works in the middle. Everything's kind of working together and flowing your attention from one piece to the next. You want the work in the gallery to stand out, but you also want them to work together because the gallery as a whole is a work of art. The last step in hanging an exhibit is getting the lighting right. It's a very important, very crucial step. Thankfully, we've got beautiful track lighting here at the Beckett Art Center, so we can get the lights exactly the way we want them. So they will switch and rotate in whatever direction we want, and now we just have to adjust them properly for the work. So we want to actually do it with 2 lights so that we're getting enough light for the whole piece. This work is 2 foot by 4 foot. Anything that size, you're kind of usually want 2 lights on to get enough light for it to work. Other pieces you can get away with 1. If you have really small work, 1 can light a few of them at a time. All right, folks, those are my tips on how to start hanging an art exhibit. I hope you find them useful in your own art endeavors. You can also try to hire somebody to hang an exhibit for you, especially if it's a really large exhibit. That is something that I offer as one of my services outside of hanging my own shows. You can check out more of my work and offerings at sean-mccusker.com. That's SEAN-MCCUSKER.com. And for now, I've got to get hanging and putting up some more lighting for my show. So we'll see you later. Take care.